Hi, I'm Ingrid. I'm 33 years old, and last week I handed my parents a single piece of paper that made my mother collapse onto her knees. You might be wondering why it took me this long, why a single sheet of paper could carry so much weight. But before I get into that, let me take you back 15 years. When I was 17, my life felt like a constant comparison. My parents had a golden child, my older sister, Monica. Everything she touched seemed to glow: attention, praise, opportunities, even love. Me, I was the invisible daughter, the quiet one, the one who learned to survive on scraps of affection. It all started with my grandmother, Margaret. She was dying, but she was the only person who truly saw me. She had watched how my parents treated me versus how they treated Monica, and she did something extraordinary. She left me her life savings, $180,000. Not because I asked, not because I demanded, but because she wanted me to have a chance, a real chance. But my parents intercepted it. Every penny went to Monica's house. When I confronted them, my father said, dead in my face, "Don't be selfish, it's free money anyway." I was 18, broke, hopeless, and conditioned to believe I deserved nothing. Fast forward 15 years, and everything changed. But let me start at the very beginning. Grandma Margaret was admitted to the hospital. The room smelled like antiseptic and fading flowers. I was 17, sitting beside her bed, holding her frail hand just like I had every Sunday for the last 3 years. "Sweetheart," she whispered, her voice barely audible, "you're the only one who shows up. Remember that when everyone else forgets." I didn't fully understand. My mom hadn't visited in 2 weeks. Too busy, she said. Monica hadn't come at all. She was planning her 21st birthday party. 50 guests, a DJ, a custom dress flown in from New York. I remembered my 16th birthday. Mom baked a cake. 4 of us sat around the kitchen table, done by 8 p.m. That was the difference. Grandma Margaret saw it all. "I've prepared something for you," she whispered, her eyes suddenly sharp despite the morphine. "Don't let anyone take it away." "Especially?" I asked, confused. "Especially who?" She stopped, coughed, shook her head, and closed her eyes. I kissed her forehead and left, her words echoing in my mind. "Promise me you'll remember what you're worth." I promised. I didn't know what I was promising. I didn't know then that my family could be capable of such betrayal. Grandma died on a Tuesday. I was in calculus class when my phone buzzed. Mom's text read 3 words: "Grandma's gone, come home." No hugs, no comfort, no check-ins. Monica arrived 30 minutes late, stressed about traffic. Mom fussed over her. I stood alone by the casket, saying goodbye to the only person in my life who had ever made me feel seen. After the service, I overheard Mom and Dad talking. Dad said something about a problem with the will. Mom said she'd handle it. They whispered in the kitchen while I pressed myself against the wall. 2 weeks later, volunteering to clean out Grandma's apartment, I found it. Tucked inside her worn copy of Little Women was an envelope with my name. "Ingrid, my darling girl, I've left you everything I have. Attorney Patterson has all the documents. Don't trust anyone else, especially your mother. I love you more than you'll ever know." Everything. She had left me everything, and she had warned me not to trust my own mother. I didn't have proof yet, but I knew. I tried asking Mom. She waved it off, saying Grandma barely had anything. I showed her the note. She smiled, that familiar, dismissive smile. Sweetheart, she was confused. She didn't know what she was writing. Dad just stood there, blank, silent, no ally. I was alone, broke, 17, and powerless. So I made a choice. I would survive. I would wait. 6 months later, I connected the dots. Grandma Margaret announced at Sunday dinner that Mom and Dad bought her a house. $180,000, exactly the amount Grandma had left me. I confronted Dad in the garage. Where did the money come from? He said it was their savings. I reminded him of the note. He froze. Fear. The first time I saw fear in his eyes instead of anger. I told Monica, hoping for an ally. She laughed. Grandma was lucid. You're being paranoid. I realized I had to wait. I had to build proof, build my life, and wait for the moment when truth could not be denied. I worked 3 part-time jobs while finishing high school, community college, scholarships, nights alone, apartments I shared with strangers, no money, no allies, but determination. By 25, I had a solid career. I bought a townhouse with my own money. I had a friend, Chloe Brennan, a forensic accountant, who became my secret weapon. She traced every dollar, every transaction, every suspicious transfer. Bank records revealed $180,000 deposited into my parents' account after Grandma died and then transferred to Monica's house. Everything traced, time-stamped, undeniable. Meanwhile, karma worked quietly. Monica's marriage collapsed, Dad lost his retirement, Mom's health and finances deteriorated. They ended up selling their house. Their lives became a shadow of what they had once controlled. Then, 6 months ago, the phone rang. Mom. Ingrid, we need to talk. We're celebrating our 40th anniversary. Just family, close friends. We'd love it at your house. I agreed. I needed this. Chloe and I prepared. Legal documents, financial records, the will, bank statements, a restraining order, everything. Saturday came, parents, Monica, 30 guests. I greeted everyone, smiling, hosting, waiting. Dad made a speech about hardships, financial setbacks, health issues. Mom added a sweet announcement. We're hoping Ingrid will let us stay here. She has the beautiful home now. The ambush. The guilt trip. I stood, calm. Family takes care of family? I agree, which is why I've prepared a gift for you. Envelope in hand, I handed it to Dad. Page 1, financial statements. $180,000 plus 15 years of compound interest. Page 2, Grandma's notarized will. Page 3, bank records tracing every dollar. Page 4, restraining order. Mom collapsed. Dad froze. Monica couldn't comprehend. The truth was out. The room erupted in whispers and gasps. Aunt Helen confronted my parents, but confession was silent. I walked out, free. No gloating, no vengeance. The restraining order held. Legal protection. Peace. I donated $20,000 to a scholarship fund named after Grandma Margaret, helping other first-generation students. I didn't need my parents' approval, Monica's apology, or anyone's validation. I built my life from scratch. I am worthy. I am strong. I am free. I've spent years unpacking the why. My parents weren't monsters. They were flawed, misdirected, and irrationally protective of Monica. My mother resented her own mother for loving me more. Their logic, twisted but human. And me? My weakness was fear of conflict, silence, a desire to be seen. That belief nearly broke me. Here's the lesson. Silence feels like survival, but sometimes it's suffocation. You don't owe loyalty to those who betray you. Demanding truth isn't selfish, it's self-respect. Standing in my living room, I see a photo of Grandma Margaret and me at the beach. I talk to her sometimes. I kept my promise, not to let anyone steal what mattered most, my sense of self-worth. Family isn't blood. Family is people who choose to love you rightly. I built that family. I chose that life. Your silence might feel safe. Speaking up might feel risky. But if someone treats you as less, it's not you, it's them. You are worth more. 15 years, 1 piece of paper, a stolen inheritance, and the courage to wait. That's my story.